My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey folks, welcome back. You've probably heard of workforce housing before, but today's special guest does it very differently. Not only have they got a huge portfolio of multifamily properties focusing a lot on workforce housing, but they really go above and beyond with their tenants. So our special guest today is Adrian Lufschanowski from Thrive FP. And Adrian, if I'm not mistaken, I think you guys have like over 10,000 units. You did. You sold a few.
Our peak was about 19,000 units. And a lot of groups are great at buying and not very good at selling.
Yeah.
We made sure we're pretty good at selling. And we've sold all along the way. And during COVID, or coming out of COVID, we knew the cycle was long in the tooth. And we had a lot of people that were very critical of us because we've done this a long time, that the market is different. You guys are a little old. You're too conservative. And we took it, but we saw it as an opportunity to really start selling everything in the portfolio that we didn't want to hold long term.
Right. So what did you hold on to? What does it look like these days?
About 2,500 units.
Okay.
We haven't been this lean probably since 2011. And I can tell you, a lot of people respond, "Oh, y'all did great. You must be okay." No. If you own 3 properties, it is so difficult right now. And it's not, you don't have to be a professional underwriter, real estate investor to understand a very simple model. Expenses are higher, debt service is a lot higher, and rents are lower.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a recipe for struggle, that's for sure.
It is.
Anybody. Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that we have such a small portfolio, but no one is immune to a downturn. And we are good at what we do, but we acknowledge that when the wind is behind you, it's so much fun to sail. And when it's against you, you can be a professional sailor and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like right now. But preparing as best you can in relation to where a cycle is, because real estate, it's like trading Bitcoin, gold, equities, pork bellies. It doesn't matter the commodity. It's the cycle of that commodity. And their ups and their downs. And you have to prepare for that accordingly. You can buy an awful property at the right time and you look like a genius. You can buy
A lot of people did.
a trophy asset at the wrong time and you can't make it work. And that has to do with the external factors of the market. It's much more powerful than any one person or any one deal. And so we always keep that in mind. Where are we in a cycle? Is it the right time to buy this particular asset? Let's say we're buying a massively distressed asset, 20% occupied, needs tons of rehab. That's a great deal to do in the early middle part of a cycle. When you start to go 7-8 years into a cycle, that's a lot of risk for the particular opportunity. So that's how we kind of put things together. And each deal has to stand on its own, but you have to look at the big picture. And where are we in relation to that beginning, middle, or end?
Oh, we were talking a little bit off camera, Adrian, and you're saying it sounded like you're feeling pretty confident that things are starting to kind of turn the corner.
Without a doubt. And we're seeing So transactions over the last 2 years are down over 70%.
Wow.
That is, I mean, even the GFC crisis, right? The great financial crisis. The positive thing with that downturn was they ripped the Band-Aid off so quickly, everything just plummeted. This one has been peeling the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
So it's been a prolonged 2.5 years of misery, hoping and praying things would change. Now, rates are coming down. Capital has been so patient on the sidelines. Capital doesn't stay patient forever.
Yeah.
And they just want some of the uncertainty to go away so they can plow into a market. We're starting to see it. When good deals hit the marketplace, they're getting very competitive bids, call it 10 to 15. They're all very close in pricing. And that rarely happened in what I call the go-go days.
Yeah.
You'd have 25 bids. You'd have 3 that were $1 million to $3 million above everyone else.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were like, we got to have this deal. Now, you would think a deal comes to market and no one wants to bid on it. It's not the case. They're just much more selective and disciplined as to what they're willing to pay.
Yeah. They're treating it more like a business again.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there is different reports, but call it 600-ish billion sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's a private market that can work through this problem. I guarantee it.
Yeah, definitely.
My anticipation is we might get really lucky and the fourth quarter might be much more active than a fourth quarter typically is. But I think first quarter of next year, we're going to start the new cycle. We got to weed through all of these distressed assets because lenders are starting to give poor operators the ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
Either debt funds are calling us and saying, would you come in and run this deal? We'll make sure the GP gives you a piece of the GP. We will not renew the loan with this specific GP. Or they call and say, would you be willing to buy the deal at our loan amount?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll foreclose and take the property back. So that's happening regularly. And 6 months ago, it was crickets from everyone.
Wow. Yeah, that's a huge change.
It is.
So, Adrian, well, let's talk a little bit about your secret sauce when things are going according to plan. So you guys have focused a lot on workforce housing over the years.
That's right.
Pretty cool stuff with that. So maybe walk us through.
So I'll use the first deal that we bought in end of 2010 was a property in San Antonio, Texas. It was 95% occupied physically. Economic occupancy, meaning people that were paying, was about 75%.
Wow.
So our pro forma and our idea was forget about rents going up. We want to get economic from 75 to 90%.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
We had a lot of families. It was primarily Hispanic tenants, and there were a lot of families. One of the first things we did was we reached out to a local group in San Antonio that does after-school programs. And we asked them if they would set up a program at our clubhouse for our tenants, and we wanted them to only pay $20 a month per kid. And they agreed. So the
So
kid,
you guys picked up the difference, or who paid the difference?
yes, we picked up the difference. And it wasn't much because a lot of these groups are nonprofit.
Okay.
They have great resources. They don't know how to reach out to the public, right? Well, we have a captive audience. We had 250 units of people right there.
With families. Yeah,
That's right. So if mom works 2 jobs and she's panicked at 5 o'clock when the kids get off the school bus, what are they going to do? That's an awful feeling.
Yeah.
So we decided if they walk straight to the clubhouse and they get a snack and tutoring and can do homework, mom can finish her job and she doesn't have to panic.
Yeah.
As with most people in these apartment complexes, hesitate when positive resources are given to them because they think there's an ulterior motive. It took a little bit of time to really kick into gear,
Yeah.
but the result was phenomenal.
What was it? What was the result?
I walked onto the property to do a site visit,
Yeah.
and a woman sees me get out of my car and beelines towards me. And I thought, oh my goodness, she's going to come scream at me for something.
Yeah.
She said, "You're an owner, right?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I've been living in apartments pretty much all my adult life. I have never lived in an apartment where the owners actually care about us.
Wow.
If you want me to do a reference for you, you let me know because this is the best place I've ever lived at." It wasn't a new property. It wasn't a particularly A-class type property,
Yeah.
but they don't care about that. It's humanness. How do we treat them? They're our customers.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
How did that help you? Again,
Yeah.
the human side, I get it. The financial side, did that translate into helping you?
Even better.
Okay.
Even better. Our retention rate was 25% higher than the surrounding properties. Our renewal rates were in the 84% range.
Wow.
So what happens when tenants don't leave? You don't need to pay $3,500 to fix the unit to get it prepared for the next tenant.
Right.
You get downtime until the new lease is in place, and you're spending $3,500. If we're doing that less, our investors make more cash flow. So they're happy. The tenants are happy. How is that not a win-win?
That is. So you got the after school program. What are some of the other cool things that you guys have done?
We talked to regional hospitals to do nutritional education. Type 2 diabetes is a real problem with lower socioeconomic people. You know, Johnny comes home from school, he grabs Twizzlers and a Coke.
Yeah.
He's already obese, right? He's 10 years old. He doesn't know better. Mom doesn't know better. So they spend some time teaching them about foods to avoid and foods that are better for them. We've done financial literacy, how to balance a checkbook. You'd be amazed. So many people don't know that. How help with their tax returns. We've modified over the years thinking and listening to what our tenants really needed. We do credit score enhancement. If they want to attempt to buy a house, we help them figure out how much they need to save. Well, we don't. We bring in groups that do this, right?
Uh-huh.
I think one of the greatest things we ever launched during COVID, we reached out to Teladoc. That's where you log in on the computer and you can talk to a nurse practitioner with any health issues that you have. It was tough negotiating with Teladoc because we wanted to subsidize it 100% for our tenants. They hemmed and hawed, but they agreed to it. When we launched it, about 20% used it. Within 6 months, it was 70% of our tenants were using it. Wow. We had a woman in a property in Houston. She worked as a nurse in the medical center. She couldn't afford health care. She sent us a letter thanking us because she now had health care through Teladoc that she could never support herself. So, it takes a little bit of work, but it's not expensive, costly, or so time consuming. These things are not insurmountable. And what we need to think about, it's not what you and I need, because we're in a different class. We are. Yeah. We're blessed. We have access to these things. They do not. So while a pool and a gym are great at apartment complex, we call these amenities, social amenities. We formed with a partner a nonprofit called Veritas that provides a concierge service. They go into each unit, build a relationship with each tenant, and listen to see what it is they need. COVID was a great opportunity for this because people were struggling with clothing, food. So we could connect them to the food bank or to food service organizations, clothing, all these things. When these people need something, they don't know where to go.
Right.
So we'll provide the menu and say, all you have to do is go here. We don't do it, you do it. And we don't want to change workforce housing for ourselves. We want to change it for all GPs and all operators that buy these type of properties. Goldman Sachs hired Veritas on some of their properties.
Wow.
So the menu keeps growing with services. We keep getting new ideas. There are more groups that do similar things or provide some of those services, and they don't have enough of an audience yet. So we can help give them the audience and jumpstart a real new age of how people look at workforce housing, because it's not going to get better. Before COVID, there was a 6 million unit deficit for affordable housing. The majority, over 75% of all new construction, which is over 250,000 units that have been delivered, the majority are A-class.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not easy to be in a place where you pay $1,200 for a one bedroom. The majority are $1,800 to $2,500, but those people don't need services.
Exactly.
So I think coming out of this downturn, we're going to hit the imbalance again where demand outstrips supply, which is a perfect place for a real estate investor to be in. Mm-hmm. And the challenge will be with costs of land, labor, materials not going down as much as for it to be affordable. It's a math problem. If you build a property for $250,000 a unit, you can't charge $1,200 for a one bedroom.
No.
We would prefer to buy the 80s vintage property, fix them well, clean, safe, and provide these amenities. And it's extremely profitable. Our returns are north of 20% IRRs on average over a 16-year span. And we play in the workforce housing. We've never bought an A-class deal. We have no desire.
No, you don't need to.
Exciting.
You've got your niche there.
Yep.
Adrian, time flies when we're having fun, my friend. If people would like to find out more about you guys and what you're up to at Thrive, where should they go?
Yeah, go to our website at thrivefp.com. And the FP is for purpose, for profit. That's what that FP is. We are a true investment firm. We're about making money, but we're about conscious capitalism. Everybody wins in our model, and that's what we believe in. They can also email us at service@thrivefp.com.
Perfect. Adrian, thanks very much for being on the show. This has been enlightening.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.